Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you guys know, in our last tutorial, we had talked in detail about props. What are props? What are the difference between dynamic and static props? How you can deal with within the functional component? How you can deal with props within the class components? So there are another, actually you can say like props are the methods or technique that will handle the dynamic component, and that or props are responsible to handle the dynamic text of user interface. There is another way to handle the text or the data of user interface, that is state. So you can use either props or state to manage the dynamic data of your user interface. User interface is coming from where? Of course, it's coming from components. So today we will be learning about states. What are the states? How you can manage the state, and what there are some necessities where you can use state by all means. Let me go ahead and tell you the differences between props and states first. So props are passed to the component. You can pass the props as a parameter to the component. State you can create within the component and manage within the component privately. Functional parameter props are passing as functional parameters, and within states you can declare as a variable within the function body. Props are immutable. When you pass the props from parent component to child component, it's impossible for you to update the props inside the child component because they are just read only in the child component. On the other hand, you can change the state within the component where you are managing the state. Props is the keyword that you can use in the functional component to access the props object. Use state hook you have to use in the functional component to maintain the state. This.props keyword you have to use to access the object of props in class component, and this.state keyword you have to use to access the object of state in the class component. So let's go ahead and check it out how we can create states, how we can manage state within the component, and why is it necessary sometimes to use state on top of props, or you have to replace props with states. This is my project where we are working last time. Let me go ahead and try to comment the old code and show you the browser. It's empty. I'll be moving forward and creating one new component named as subscribe.js. RCE, I will be creating a very traditional React class component by using shortcut RCE, and inside this I will pass h1 and I will say please subscribe us and dot dot dot, and that's it. So now let me go ahead and import that one into my class component. I'll say subscribe, and that's it. It's imported already. If you are writing the name directly here inside the JSX, the visual code will import for you automatically. If you are using any other coding software, you must import it on top. So let's go ahead and check in the browser. Please subscribe us is appearing. So what I want here in this example is I should create one button down for subscribe. Once the user click on the subscribe, I want to change this message to thank you for subscribing us. So in case I'm using props and I'm passing this message from parent component, it's really impossible for me to update this message in the child component on the base of event. So what I will do here is I will go ahead and try to maintain this with the help of state. For having a state in my class component, I must call constructor, and within the constructor I have to call a super method. That super method will call all the base functionalities for the class, that because this class is extending with component class of React. So after that I will be calling my this.state. So this.state is the property that is available in the class where you can maintain your states. So I will maintain a message variable here inside it. So I should pass this sentence as message here, and here I will use curly bracket, and inside curly bracket I will use this dot state dot message. Same as props, you have to use this dot state dot message. Here you can see there is no difference, but here now you have ability to change this message anytime because it's dynamic text and you are maintaining it within the state. Let me go ahead and try to create one button down, and I will make one event handler. So once the event occur to that button, it will call the event handler to change the message. Let's go ahead and try to create one button. I'll create button. I'll say subscribe. Okay. So in that one, I'll say when on click event happen. So just what you have to do is you have to pass one event handler. What is the name of this event handler? Is this dot change message, message message. So this event handler I will create here. So as you guys see, I had created a normal class function as an event handler. Here I have to call another function called setState. SetState is the available method within the class component that will helps you to change any kind of data within the state anytime you want to change. So I want to change this message. So I will do message variable, and what I want to pass, thank you for subscribing us, and that's it. And let me go ahead and see. So please subscribe us is appearing and subscribe button is down here. Let me hit to subscribe button and see what will happen. Once I hit, and as you guys can see that my text is changed to thank you for subscribing us. So very simple, very easy how to maintain the state. And you guys know, like, it's very, when you want to use state, when you have to use state is the point where you have to change the variable value within your component. For example, here we have to change this value for the message on click event. So it's the requirement, and you cannot achieve this functionality with the help of props. So props have their own functionalities and own impact on React components, and states have their own functionalities and their own impact on functional components. So you have to decide, sometimes you have to use props and sometimes you have to use state. I hope this is the better understanding of props versus state, and what are props and what are states. This dot set state, this is here. This is very simple and very easy. There is much more to learn about it. So let me go ahead in the next tutorial and explain you a bit about set state method. And that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you for watching, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. Allah Hafiz.